To the Memphis Police Department, to the officers that I see sitting in front of me, we are about to provide you with a level of support you cannot even imagine. This isn't just a task force. This is a all of government unlimited support operation. ATF, DEA, FBI, ICE, Department of War, every resource we have. And they're not going to be sitting behind a desk at a keyboard. We are sending in real cops with guns and badges to go out with you on the street every single night making arrests. I see the guns and badges in this room. You are unleashed. The handcuffs that you're carrying, they're not on you anymore. They're on the criminals. And whatever you need to get it done, we're going to get it done.
There's nobody in America that wishes they were tough more than Stephen Miller. And he keeps trying. Bless his little heart, he keeps trying. I am assuming that the cops in that room have as little respect for whiny, little cringy Stephen Miller as I do, but I don't know for sure. Maybe they like it. Maybe they like that they're gonna be unleashed and a bunch of people that have never stepped foot in that city before will be roaming around and maybe shooting people or something. Maybe they'll like that, I don't know. I have a feeling probably not. And he says they're gonna get unlimited support, more than they could hope for. But of course, a lot of that isn't even gonna be paid support. The National Guard that they're gonna be forcing to go there during a shutdown won't even be getting paid. So we'll see how well that works. But again, despite Memphis, like all these other cities, not asking for this help, not asking to be conquered, not asking to be part of the normalization of the United States military from the Department of Defense, which is what it's called. I'm not gonna use your preferred name, Stephen Miller. I don't respect you. Like, they're not asking for this. They don't want it. There's gonna be lawsuits, but it is being forced on them. They are being attacked by their own government, and they're just the latest city, them and Portland, and it's just now spreading in every direction. And the idea is supposed to be that because Stephen Miller has always fantasized about other people being hurt and that making him feel strong and virile and everything, that Memphis should be excited about that. But I'm not sure that that's the case. We know that people don't like their cities being invaded by an occupying force of the federal government. And so it is possible that these Memphis cops will know, like DC cops have learned, that it is a really great way to lose what remaining respect or admiration you have from the people who live in this area. Seeing you marching around with these masked ICE officers, brutalizing people, denying their rights, breaking up families, ruining these communities is a great way to turn the civilians against you. We'll see, maybe it'll work better miraculously in Memphis than it has in these other cases, yes, but what do you think?
This is, like the Stephen Miller of it all. Who gave this man so much power and authority to where he is making speeches to the American people or to our administration, telling them how he's going to take over all these American cities. A lot of the very, the more racist rhetoric, the more inflammatory rhetoric that we've heard from this Trump administration has come directly from Stephen Miller or at his direction. He was a loser in high school and he's still a loser now. Even for the Republicans, like, he has to be embarrassing for them to be associated with. Word is that on the Hill, no one actually likes him. Even his wife seems to prefer Elon Musk to him, and that's got to do a number on someone. And you have to wonder, if somebody just loved him, if he just had like a good friend, would that have made a difference somewhere down the line? But that aside, these American cities are doing things, which is very encouraging to see them fighting back against what is happening in their cities. I know you're in Los Angeles, and I remember you were saying, like how literally invasive it felt to have these people in your city, and I can't imagine. I might not have to imagine soon because I am in Houston and our own governor is going to do it to us here, But at the same time, you do see videos on social media of people in Portland who are fighting back against these ICE agents. They're driving them away. Actually, they're successful in doing that. In DC, they got them to leave part of town because they were just harassing them back. They're just shaming them. They're unabashedly shaming these ICE agents for having their face masks up all the time and for pointing out to them how ridiculous they are and how they are the bootlickers who are wearing the boots. They are the boots on the ground. And it's all so ridiculous. And it's hard to imagine how someone who would want that job would actually, just have any kind of sense of masculinity about him. Because let's be real, these are men who are doing this, and they don't strike me as very strong-willed men. Like they really are trying to feel masculine and to do all these things to like oh, like, we're so big and tough, but your faces are covered. And I thought that masks, like you couldn't breathe in a mask. A few years ago, that was what we were hearing from all of you guys. And then on top of that, there was somebody in Portland who was antagonizing one of these ICE agents. He was not responding at all, but then they finally got them to move back. And they're like, I can't imagine that you're actually using that student loan forgiveness, any of you. And so it does seem to be working to an extent to where at least like they understand that, they don't have the support of the people. But whenever you have situations like this throughout history, and usually in different countries besides this one, whenever there's like a big military coup or something like that, I always wondered, who are these people? Who are those boots on the ground who are turning against their countrymen, who are enacting the will of this obviously corrupt government, and they're doing this to their country. A dictator is only as powerful as the boots on the ground, as his militia, right? As the power that he literally wields. So who are these people who are saying, I'll be that guy. I will be the one to turn on my countrymen and to inflict all of this on my country. Those are the people that we're seeing who are willingly joining ICE.
Yeah.
I don't even want to fault, the National Guard too much, because we know that they're being deployed and they don't have a whole lot of say in it. But the people who are joining ICE, like they're doing it for a reason. And it's not just because of the sign-on bonuses. They're doing it because they believe in that mission. And it's really, really just despicable.
Yeah, look, in every society, there's gonna be some percentage of disproportionately men that are just ready to be a cog in the machine.
Yeah.
That they don't like being responsible for their own choices, their own life. They just want a strong man to tell them what to do. Tell them who's bad, tell them who to shoot at or whatever. There is always some percentage of that. And the right has been successful, I think, in growing that percentage a little bit. By having people like Andrew Tate and all these people that get guys to listen to them. They ruin these guys' life. They ruin their friendships, ruin their relationships with their family, make them utterly ineffable. And the guys get even more desperate. And they're desperate to feel strong, to feel masculine or whatever. They have none of the traditional outlets anymore because nobody wants to talk to them. And so now, well, I could put this on, then I could punch somebody. And maybe like a woman will get in my face and I can push her down. And that's really all I want. All I want. And so that's why I think we're seeing that. Some are gonna be drawn by the money or whatever. It's still, that's a devil's bargain that you're making right there. But a lot of them are just filled with rage and entitlement and jealousy. And I think that Stephen Miller's the ultimate example of that. Mm-hmm. In any event, while Memphis is having this experience, Portland too has a National Guard and others being sent there. Donald Trump would have you believe in his social media posts that it is a war zone. It's just a third world country. Everything's blowing up and on fire constantly. And for people who don't live within 2,000 miles of Portland, you just take his word for it. The people who live there say, what the hell are you talking about? It has no, just like DC, just like Memphis, just like New Orleans, it has no relationship with reality. Eventually, one would hope that people will figure out how this works, that it isn't actually reflective of any situation on the ground. I don't know. And I would hope that the people who live in this city will be turned even more against this regime who does not give a damn about them, and is willing to see them tear gassed and brutalized and their lives made like utterly inconvenient and all that. But we'll have to stay tuned to find out.